You are listening to This Podcast Could Have Been an Email, presented by Berkshire Community College.
Welcome to the inaugural version of the BCC podcast that we are calling This Podcast Could Have Been an Email. I am Adam Klepetar. I work here in Student Affairs and Enrollment Management, and I'm going to let my co-host introduce himself.
I am Jonah Sykes. I am the Director of Marketing and Communications, and I'm not going to lie, I have to look at my script to look at what my name was. So I am Jonah Sykes, Director of Marketing here at BCC.
I think we'll get better at this. I also looked at my script to see who I was.
What your name was? Yeah, same.
Yeah. And in our podcast, our first guest is the Vice President for Administration and Finance, Dr. Christina Nguyen. Christina, thanks for being our first guest.
My pleasure to be here. Actually, on the script, it says I'm a special guest. So I don't know what your other guests are, but apparently I'm a special guest. So.
Well, the first guest is special.
Thank you.
Right? So all the rest of the guests will just
it.
be guest one, guest two. They won't have special in front of them. So.
Right, I like that.
Promise.
At some point, we'll have like presidential candidates coming onto this, and you will always be the first person who was on this podcast. Could have been an email. Well, thank you. Welcome. We're really happy to have you with us. And those of you who are listening might be curious to know why we thought that doing a podcast for faculty and staff and students at BCC might be a good idea. And Christina,
I'm curious.
You are.
Yeah.
So
Why was I called here today?
Why were you called here today? So a year ago, we made a decision at Executive Council that each vice president and the president would monthly send out an email to campus with updates. And I think something that we've been struggling with for a long time is trying to communicate things that are going on campus to people in multiple modalities, to find people kind of where they are. And this just seemed like another way to communicate with people. Our hope is that it would be fun. It'll be really easy to consume. It could be something you listen to as you drive to work in the morning. Maybe you can't fall asleep at night and you put it on and it helps you do that with Jonah's soothing.
The soft, soothing voice of Jonah Sykes.
That's right.
Does that make people fall asleep? I bet it does.
David Allen Boucher.
David Allen, I don't know who that is. Should I know who that is? I'm sorry.
He's like, never mind.
Okay,
I'm dating myself.
We'll cut that, don't worry.
Okay.
One of the things as well, I think, is we have a number of ways by which we communicate with faculty, staff, and students at BCC, and we're a really small campus. And so you might ask, why would you create another way to communicate with us? Because we're not sure if the other ones are successful as they could be. And so as long as there's one more means by which you can learn what's going on and have conversations amongst ourselves and talk about current topics and events and the future of BCC and the past of BCC. And also it's a 30-minute podcast. So Adam's right. While you're driving into work or riding into work or walking into work or in the passenger seat of a car on the way to work or school, I guess, you could just hear what's going on. And so this is our debut start of this, and we're hoping that we'll have many more to come for folks that really get a chance to know from us informally what's happening at BCC.
I think folks would be interested to hear sort of the backstory behind the name, though. That's my favorite part, because when we first sat down to do this, and we were in this very room and like trying to work through what I think was your sort of traditional interviewee script, it felt a little stale. It felt a little robotic. And so we ended the session and thought, like, how can we make this maybe a little bit more fun? And I think it was you, Jonah. That was
it was Adam.
It was Adam.
Yeah.
It was Adam.
Adam knows it was Adam. So.
It was me.
It was Adam who came up with this. Like, this really should be something that kind of plays on this podcast. Could have been an email. And honestly, thank goodness it wasn't, because we get enough emails as it is, right?
We get a lot of emails.
emails.
Yeah, so it's nice to have content that you can consume in a way that's different from kind of your everyday expected, here's what's happening, regular email. So
very topically speaking, if topically is a word, I can say that we just did a communication survey for faculty and staff, and they said they get way too many emails. Mm-hmm. And we know that students, many students who have graduated from BCC, most of my entire family and my husband included, will tell you they get so many emails they don't read them. So this isn't an email, it's a podcast. But this podcast probably could have been an email, but we're trying to, flip it and reverse it, as Missy Elliott once said. So that's the plan here.
That was really well done, Jonah. I think we've been thinking about we think about this a lot as we write those emails. We think about what people might want to know, what they might want to hear. And honestly, one of the ways that we would know the answer to that is if you listen to this and you let us know. So you could write to Jonah or to myself, via email or put your own podcast together and send it to us, and we promise we'll listen to it. But really, this is an open format. We could invite anyone from the campus community or a community partner and talk about things that people are interested in. So until we hear from you, Jonah and I will continue to come up with the ideas of what we think people might want to hear about. But like I said, we'd really love to hear from the community, and we'll invite guests. And maybe you want to be a guest. Maybe you have something that you're very excited to share with the community, and this could be a format for you. So speaking of that, Christina, anything going on in A&F that you think people might be interested in knowing about?
Oh boy, there's so much going on in A&F. Right now is one of our favorite times of the year, which is budget season. And so from an employee standpoint, we are spending a lot of time thinking about what are our needs going to be for the 25-26 academic year. So department heads are meeting with our Director of Payroll and Budget Management, Kelsey Brielt, and she is walking them through how to do the budget process. We have a new budget process this year, which is incredibly exciting if you're on the A&F side. So
I have to say it's pretty exciting. I think
Right?
it is kind of exciting. It's been open, inclusive. I think we've engaged people more than we have in the past. And as someone who's been doing this every year since I've been here, this one feels more inclusive. So.
I'm glad. And we have a new tool to use, which is always nice, especially when it integrates with the systems that we're already using, so not going outside. So that's obviously some of the one of the things that's on our list. And then probably the most that everybody thinks about is construction, what's happening on the campus by way of comings and goings, buildings, operations, and things like that. So we are about to break ground on the renovation of the library, which is long overdue. And so we are preparing to move out some of the folks that are in that space and relocate them on campus. And hopefully this summer we will have something new to show people. So
As we hold there for just a pause, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come right back and get back into all things A&F, all things BCC, and all things this podcast could have been an email. So stick with us. We're going to be right back with a local commercial from some local folks here at BCC. We'll be right back. You are invited to check out Patterson Fieldhouse, the local fitness center and gym located at BCC, where students and staff can join for free, alumni receive a discount, and the greater community is offered incredibly affordable rates. Patterson boasts a complete gym experience, from cardio to weightlifting and everything in between. And we have the courts and the equipment for playing pickleball or a round of tennis too. Whatever health and fitness goal you aspire to, you can succeed at Patterson Fieldhouse. Complete your membership today.
All right, welcome back from break. And when we left off, Christina was talking about the library.
yeah, so the Edwards Library is going to be under construction for the spring semester. Right now, we have tutoring and testing that are in that space. We're going to move them out at the end of December and into the field building for the remainder of the spring semester, and hopefully not very much of the summer semester, but we'll see. So we're going to do all the work and the roof.
Where in the field building are they going?
Good question. So the testing center is going to go upstairs into F201. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I should know the room.
Next to the education.
Next to the ECE room, right?
Yes, exactly. And the tutoring space is going to go on the first floor in F102, and that is in the space that's just next to Ollie. So it'll be nice that they'll be co-located. And then Richard Felver is going to have an office on the top floor of the field administration building. So if anybody's looking for Richard, he can be found there.
Probably F213, 2 down from me.
That's right.
There you
Yes,
go.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep. So hopefully that will be very temporary. We'll be monitoring weekly project updates with our construction team to ensure that we're doing all that we can. Honestly, a lot of this is going to be a bit weather dependent. So if we have a mild winter, that will be very helpful to us. I know that won't be necessarily helpful to our friends in the ski industry, but for us, it would be very nice. So we'll see. We'll be monitoring and keeping people up to speed on where we land. And we have a timeline that looks like we should have the library ready for occupancy kind of midsummer, August timeframe. I'm not going to promise that though, because
I wouldn't, yeah.
whenever we've done construction on campus, it sort of goes a little beyond what we had anticipated. So I'm not sure that this is going to be one that will be the exception to that rule. It would be nice if it was, but we'll have to see.
You feel pretty confident that when students come back for fall of 25, they'll have the library, the Edwards Library.
Oof.
I'm
That's
not
a
going to promise
timetable.
that. I would say that I would anticipate that the library will be open for the academic year 25-26. What month it will be open?
Smart.
September would be wonderful. October, November, December seems very realistic. But again, it will depend on what happens with weather and timing, and also, ordering of supplies and when they come in. And, obviously these buildings are old. And so putting things in doesn't always work the way you think it's going to work. So I think there's a lot of unknowns out there, and I would hate to tell people it's absolutely going to be for the start of the semester. I hope it will. That's what we're planning for. That's the ideal, but we really just have to wait and see.
And having gone through the one-stop construction, I think getting it right and having a beautiful space that has everything on the punch list done correctly is more important than getting in quickly.
Yes.
And we maybe made a mistake in that on our end a couple of years ago.
I mean, the fact that Jonah helped to create bumper stickers that said, "I survived the one-stop construction," basically sums up how that went.
And they're still on people's laptops.
Yes, they
on
are.
campus. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
And in addition to that, we are just simultaneously, there's a lot of buildings that during the construction of the one stop lost their titles, lost their names on the sides of buildings. So
That's
Susan
right.
B. Anthony Field Administration, those names on the sides of buildings are gone.
Yeah, they blew away.
They blew away. They're gone forever, but we will be replacing them in the spring. We'll also be adding a sign for the One Stop Enrollment Center. And the plan, as well, is that the Hoffman building does not have a sign on it. So our plan is to finally put a Ralph Hoffman environmental sign up on that building as well. So just a little bit more activity to help people with wayfinding, hopefully, to aid in that. And that'll be happening in the spring.
And Jonah, slowly but surely, your wayfinding is really progressing. I mean, we've been talking about this since the day you walked onto campus, and there's that beautiful new map.
You have
right?
2 new maps, one right outside of the cafeteria / the library temporary entrance and toward G12, and then another map right where we had the previous kiosk outside of the quad where the flags are. So that should help. All the maps are updated with the one stop on them and locations for Ollie and et cetera, but there's a lot more to do. It's a very expensive process. That's why we're doing it over a number of years to get us there. But one of the things we know is that people are looking for the one stop, which is why you see feather flags everywhere. Having a sign on the one stop that says the one stop should certainly help people find their way. And that will be done. It has to be done. The money's due by June 30th. So that's the plan.
That's when the spending is. Thank you for leading that effort, because it might sound like something that's really easy to do. I'll just put up signs. And anybody who has been part of that process would tell you that it is not an easy undertaking.
Yeah, I got to understand what DigSafe was. And and it was something else. So very fun.
And of course, as soon as we make any kind of change or make something permanent, something changes.
Yep.
And we have some kind of exciting organizational changes happening in the new year as well, right? We're going to have a new colleague at the executive council level.
We are. So we're I think at any moment, any minute now, President Kennedy will be letting the campus know who she selected for the vice president for strategic
Initiatives and community engagement.
Right.
Yeah.
We had some incredible candidates apply and then come to campus and visit with folks. So it seems like that is underway. And
They really were. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
impressive how impressive the candidates that we have come to campus, and not just for this job, but for so many different jobs that we have. But in this one in particular, we really interviewed very strong people.
I think it's so great that it was a tough decision, that
Yeah.
you're sort of that she's faced with it wasn't an easy call. So I think whenever a search committee can provide candidates of that caliber and make it sort of difficult for the hiring manager, that's like the best problem to have. So yeah, we'll be adding that person, which will shake things up a bit, and I think probably will help Ellen be able to spend some of her time attention on like 30,000 foot stuff.
Yeah, and
So-
it's exciting for me because it means that I get to be closer to coffee. which is kind of
You're
one of my
mo-
goals.
Oh yeah, because
Oh,
you're
right,
moving
you're
too.
moving.
I
You
am.
and
I'm-
Julie are moving, right?
That's
right.
right.
Where are you
Yeah.
going?
We're going right next to Brooks Cafe. It was most recently security. I think at one point in time it might have been the writing center.
I heard that,
And
yeah.
I think everything comes back to what it once was.
Yes.
So historically, for the people who've been around for a while, it was the vice president for student affairs and enrollment management's office. So we will be there, and we're excited. We'll be right by the ones in between the one stop and student support and student engagement, and most importantly, close to coffee. So if you are getting coffee and you want to pop in and say hi, please do.
As an extreme extrovert, I think this is going to be like a great thing for you.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's very exciting. And, if you want me just a little bit more energetic, I'll be just that much more caffeinated.
I want you to just ping me when the cookies are freshly baked and they're like still warm.
Do you think campus would like that? Like every morning I just sent a note being like, coffee's on,
Coffee's on. Yeah.
cookies are ready.
I would.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll have time to do that too. All right, we're going to take another quick break, and you're going to hear from another one of our sponsors. It'll probably be me telling something that really exciting is happening here on campus or in the near future. So stick with us. We're going to be right back for another segment of this podcast. Could have been an email. We'll be right back. Have you checked out the MyBCC portal yet, known as a Lucian Experience? The college is planning on launching an updated version of this portal experience, which will serve as the college's intranet, or a place where you can go as a student or staff member to find everything you need to succeed at BCC. Looking for Moodle or colleague? Want to read the latest newsletters? Can't find that procurement link? It's all in the MyBCC portal, as is so much more. Check it out by clicking on MyBCC link in the upper right corner of the homepage at berkshirecc.edu today and customize your portal experience.
All right, welcome back. We ended kind of talking about the new position that Jonah will be reporting to, and I think it's actually really exciting. I think to Christina's earlier point, this is really good for Ellen, so that she can kind of operate at that 30,000 foot level. But we've been members of ATD since 2021. Achieving the Dream, which is a national, which is a national organization that's really focused on reducing equity gaps among students and also preparing students for the workforce in moving into the second half of the 21st century. But a big part of that work is connecting the college to the external community. And I think that this move really aligns a number of our different divisions that do external work together to kind of streamline that, to build stronger communications into the community, stronger relationships in the community, and really is another iteration of the work that we've been doing with that kind of achieving the dream lens. Moving forward. And Jonah, you're going to be a big part of that.
Yeah, so this person will be overseeing a number of different areas that haven't reported under the same division. And I think it's really smart because I can see a lot of ways that those alignments are community-focused, external relations-focused. And then therefore we can then take our branding, our reputation, our plans, our recruitment strategies, especially with workforce development, marketing, the foundation, development, OLLI, grants management. It all makes a lot of sense. And of course, the other piece to it that I'm excited about is that IE, institutional effectiveness, which does all of our data, is going to be tied into that. So we're going to be focused on returns on investment and making sure that we're doing the right thing. So this was a really smart move, and I'm really excited. I'm just meeting through the interview process with those different directors and different direct reports. It was so exciting, just the energy and enthusiasm and just the collaboration and camaraderie. So I'm really excited how this is going to tie into the work that ATD expects for us to do, but also what the college said they're going to do through the strategic plan.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's going to be a good team, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always exciting to bring people from other campuses in, because I think it reinforces all of the really great work we already do and our expertise. Yeah. But it's also exciting looking into the new year and thinking about new things that we can do and new energy. So yeah, really exciting. And speaking of the new year, I'm curious, either of you have any New Year's resolutions?
So I sort of started my new resolution early. I decided in October I wanted to learn how to bake. And so I set myself up for how to bake, and I've failed more than I've succeeded. But when I've succeeded really well. And I'm very excited, because baking's really hard, and it involves math. And I haven't taken a math class since the 8th grade, so I'm really, really bad at it.
I heard the cookies you baked yesterday were pretty great.
I'm glad my husband loves them to death. Lori Gordy, our VP of AA, she's actually the one who gave me the recipe.
What are they?
They're the sugar cookies,
Oh.
but they have a cream cheese as one of the ingredients. And the first ones I made were awful. They were like pancakes, and I brought them to Lori. She's like, "What did you do?" And then I fixed it and perfected it. And she said nailed it. So I'm very excited. So that's one thing. I guess for New Year's it would be to go further because I really like baking. In fact, for Thanksgiving, I had my mom come over, and she and I just worked together on how to bake a pie, and it's her mother's recipe, my grandmother, and we just had a really nice time. And it was just such a really emotional bonding, one of those core memories. And so if I can do more of that, especially since baking does bring people together, I'm really bad at it, but it's the opportunity to like the criticism is immediate, so it doesn't have to be, and people will tell you to your face this is good or bad, and I like that because then I'm like, how can I become better at this? And I do think I improved. So my goal is to.
It is cool. I mean, we baked a lot during the pandemic. My daughter and I, and my grandmother was a baker. My mom is a really good baker. So there's this like generational thing. But it's also, there's a metaphor in that to work, right? Like trial and error.
Absolutely.
Like we're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. We're in an environment where we can make a mistake and then try again and do better. Maybe even this podcast. And we're in the second iteration of our first shot at this podcast.
Right.
So,
the first one was kind of stale, and this one, it seems like we're cooking. So
yeah, we added a little more sugar.
Well, also we could
a
be tooting our own
growth
horns
mindset.
right now because we haven't had any people criticize us yet. So.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah,
I'm sure they won't.
Yeah, we'll
Nobody
get there.
does that. It's fine. Oh, resolutions. I don't make resolutions.
Really?
No. I make goals. I don't believe in resolutions, and I don't believe in regrets, which I know is really easy to say, but that's kind of my mindset, my philosophy on it. So my goal, and this has been a goal for a couple of years, along with other goals, but my goal for 2025 is that I'm going to learn how to ski. And I've already set myself up for this. So I took some time off the very beginning of the year, and I have already booked 2 one-hour skiing lessons with our good friends over at Bosque, and got my lift tickets and my rentals and all of that. So I'm well on my way. So if you see me on January 6th,
Crutches?
and in crutches, it's because it didn't go well. But that's what I'm hoping to do. I want to learn how to ski. My boys are little, and I hope that as we continue to raise them here in the Berkshires, that they learn how to ski. And I don't want to be the mom in the lodge, just like watching.
I would totally be the mom in the lodge.
I would also be the mom in the lodge. Though I grew up in Minnesota, and we didn't have a lot of mountains.
But you can do both,
Right?
right? Like you have the opportunity to do both. You can be in the lounge, but I want to be able to be on the slopes with them.
Wow.
So.
And you're very athletic. I'm sure you'll do great.
We'll see. We'll see.
Adam, what are your resolutions or goals or promises?
I want to learn how to play pickleball. Which I think
Okay.
might be like an admission to age. I'm a basketball player, and I used to play basketball at Patterson a lot. And I feel like every time I've played basketball recently, I've ended up hurt. And pickleball seems a little safer. And
We're the
I'd
right
enjoy
campus
it.
for that.
We are.
We are the right
Both
campus.
indoor and outdoors. Yeah.
And I think that you don't even need the gear. Like you can
No.
just go down there and
They
they'll
have
give you
everything.
a paddle. And I mentioned this to Daryl Shreve, who's our director of recreation, and he seemed to think that it was something I might be able to do.
Yeah.
He gave me that little side eye look, like, but
Yeah. Every time I see pickleball at the Patterson gym when I'm down there, Natalia Eddy, one of our coworkers, and Marsha Brudinski recently retired. They're always playing down there. They're really, really good. So
Well, I mean, I don't think that you should ever try to compete against Natalia for anything.
Anything,
She
yeah.
is cutthroat. She's highly competitive, and if you're on the other
what I
side of
love
the
about
net,
her.
then you should just go home.
Yep.
why is it called pickleball? And like, would it be
Right.
meta to eat a pickle while playing pickleball? Because I love pickles.
Me too.
That could be another goal, would be to learn how to make pickles.
That seems easier though, right? It's just like
Isn't it just
vinegar, and, I think,
in jars.
and cucumbers.
I don't know, but I bet there's someone. If anyone listens to this podcast and they know how to make pickles,
Somebody
I bet
will know how to.
someone will
I
reach
have a
out
feeling
and
we're
help
gonna
me.
get emails. Yeah, or podcasts.
I will Google this myself, but I bet someone listening knows why it's called pickleball.
Pickleball.
But
Oh,
I've
yeah.
watched it. It looks like something in between table tennis or ping pong and
Right.
tennis.
And tennis.
I
right.
know that you can't serve from the kitchen. No, that's seriously, that's part. You have no idea what I'm talking
I don't
about.
either.
Nor do I, but that's part of it. Like you can't serve from the kitchen.
Okay. Serve. Okay, like for pickleball.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Not
Right.
like food. Got it.
Yeah, so there's a kitchen and you can't serve from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my other goal is to do this podcast well and get to a point where I convince you to produce shirts that say this podcast could have been an email.
On it.
And people will be wearing them with red shoes at orientation.
Okay, so
Oh.
fall 2025. All right, yeah.
Oh, right.
Well, on that note, we're going to take our final break and come back for our final thoughts. So stick with us. We'll be right back. And thank you for listening to this podcast. Could have been an email. We'll be right back. Have you heard about Scholars Day, taking place on Tuesday, February 11th, beginning at 8:30 a.m. in the Connector, SBA Lounge, and in Melville Hall classrooms? Scholars Day is a conference-style event to honor and learn from the scholarly, creative, and assessment work all of us do, faculty, staff, and students. It is a combination of the Undergraduate Scholars Conference that the college has held for many years, with presentations from you and your colleagues. Scholars Day aligns with our mission and our strategic plan in that it fosters lifelong learning, supports a culture of assessment, and showcases a high-impact practice. It is an opportunity to celebrate the work that all of us do at the college. Learn more at berkshirec.edu and submit your proposal today.
All right, welcome back. Thanks so much. This has been really fun. We kind of come to our last segment, and we are at the end of the year. And I'm curious, what are you two doing for the holidays?
Jonah, what are you doing?
So I have a very large Irish family, and most of the Irish people in my family have married and had children. And it's exhausting, and it's going to be a lot, but it's going to be multiple different holiday get-togethers, and we still have some last-minute Christmas shopping, but also starting tomorrow, we are booked with just activities. We're going to do Nightwood at the Mount. We have train riding and up in Adams on Saturday, and then just too many things to count. Sibling Christmas, where all our siblings get together. I have many siblings and their spouses. It's just a lot. It's my favorite. I love the holidays. I'm almost done with Christmas shopping. We got most of it done in Vermont last week, and I just love the holidays more than anything. So I started Christmas on November 1 though, so I'm like really inundated with Christmas music and Christmas cookies and a Christmas everything.
Do you play Whamageddon?
All the time. Yeah.
Are you still alive?
No, God, no. No. November
Really?
1. No, it was the second song on the Spotify playlist of the Christmas hits playlist.
Oh, so technically Whamageddon starts on December 1st. For those of you who don't know,
I'm so
Whamageddon
lost.
is
I'm so lost.
if you hear Wham's Last Christmas, you are out.
Yep.
And if
But
you
it has to be Wham's.
It has
not
to be
any
Wham's
others.
version, and you can't, like, if you're sitting there kind of doing the Mr. Burns evil thing, you can't intentionally knock somebody out. They have to come across
Gotta
it
be
on their
involuntary,
own.
yeah.
So
Oh, yeah, I'm out.
we play. I'm still alive.
Wow.
Yeah, I have to admit I don't seek. My wife doesn't really think that I officially play because, other than being around them and they listen to Christmas music, I would never put Christmas music
I mean,
on.
you're also you're Jewish.
I am Jewish.
So I
yeah.
mean, it's not unreasonable for you
Yeah.
not to listen to Christmas
It's
music.
true.
It's true.
I probably wouldn't listen to Christmas music even if I wasn't Jewish. But you're right. Yes, but I haven't heard it.
Wow, that's shocking.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So I have not
Thank you.
started any holiday shopping. I
What?
think maybe I bought like one thing. Alzie's in the booth. She's like, me neither. I haven't done anything.
I know when he said I've got last minute shopping, I was like, wait a second.
I know.
Yeah, I'm almost
I
done.
haven't.
Now's the time to start.
No.
I was looking at something last night on like Amazon, and I thought, oh, I should buy this, and then I was like, I'll get to it, but like it's coming quick.
Your
and-
shipping moments are fewer and fewer.
Right.
You need to start.
So it's going to be looking like a lot of cards with gift cards in them that say, if I was
Thinking
going to
of
get you
you.
something, this is what I would have gotten you. So sorry. But we have two little boys in our home. And so really, I think at this point, Christmas and holidays is about them. So much so that we typically have a large tree. And we went with a 2-footer this year.
Whoa.
It's teeny tiny because my little one is about to walk any minute now, and he just is like Wreck-It Ralph. He
Oh,
just
yeah. Yep.
tears everything down.
Have you seen Wreck-It Ralph?
No, but
Oh.
but when you say that, there's like a reference point, right?
yeah.
Alzie,
Right.
you know what I'm talking about. She's nodding.
She probably saw it though.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, she has.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So it's trying to do all the things. Take them. We went to the Nom Keg lights last week when that's when I got whammed in the car on the way, and my oldest was like, "Mommy, Christmas lights!" and really excited. Although the best part of the entire adventure for Gabe, my oldest, was that he got to ride a school bus for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And so when
Yeah.
we said, what did you like most about going out today, and he said, school bus, riding the school bus. So that'll be forever his memory and not the Christmas
it's a core
lights.
memory. Yep.
So yeah, our holiday plans just really revolve around the kids and obviously family and things like that. So.
I remember when my older daughter started kindergarten, there was like this day where you get to bring them to like try out the bus, and we rode the bus. And my younger daughter, who's a year behind her in school, was like so jealous that she didn't get to ride on the bus. And now neither one of them would ever consider riding on the bus. It's funny. I had that with mowing the lawn. We're staying here. We typically go back to Minnesota for this time of year. And I'm sure you're all really jealous about that because there's nothing like Minnesota in late December. But we're not this year. We're sticking around, and I think we're going to have a bit of a low-key holiday season, and I'm very, very happy about it. We can save our travel money for a nicer time to travel back to Minnesota.
But you have a reason to stay local now, don't you?
I do. We got a puppy. It's a week ago today.
Yep.
Adam Klepetar has a dog. Everyone, repeat. Yeah. Adam Klepetar and his family have a dog.
Her name is Charlie. She's very sweet.
It's amazing. We're all so excited.
You guys are besties.
We are. Yeah. Well, she kind of follows my wife Carrie around like her shadow, but we have fun. We play. It's been great.
Congratulations on your new addition.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I think that brings us to the end of. I'm gonna memorize the name of this thing that I came up with. The podcast. This podcast could have been an email. We really appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your day to listen to this. Really encourage you to reach out to us and let us know what you'd like to hear about. If you have ideas of colleagues who you'd like to hear on this, if you yourself would like to join us, really an open format. As we come to the end of the year, this has been a really tough year. I think for a lot of us here at work, having free community college has been great, but it's been really challenging in some ways with lots of new students who bring new challenges. Lots of stuff is happening around the country and globally that I think makes 2025 a time that can be a little scary, and especially in higher education and depending on who you are, maybe very personally. But one thing I feel really great about is working at BCC and working with a group of people who come to work every day with kind of an unwavering commitment to what the mission of this institution is, to serve our students and to take care of one another. So really an honor to be a part of this community with you, and please take the end of this year and the beginning of next year to recharge, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and we'll look forward to working with you and seeing you in the new year. And Christina, thanks so much for being our first guest.
Thanks. Hopefully you'll invite me back.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes, and we'll let you know.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, everyone. Special thanks to Adam Klepetar, Christina Wynn, and Alzi Mercado at BCC for helping put this show together. Special thanks to Ellen Kennedy for helping imagine this opportunity, and to Matthew Mueller for helping start us on this journey with Lori Gordy, Frank Shakur, Matthew Martin, Maureen McLaughlin, and Judith Monachino. Special thanks to Matthew Tucker at WTBR and PCTV for helping us in post-production and streaming through WTBR and Pittsfield Community Television Studios. And a special thank you to you, dear listener, for listening to This Podcast Could Have Been an Email, presented by Berkshire Community College. My name is Jonah Sykes, and thank you so much.